Today I'm going to show you the Desert DX way to trim brass. And we're going to use 223 brass. And we're going to use this Lee priming tool to hold the case with and use the Lee trimmer chucked in a drill. Everyone knows what a pain in the rear end that is. So I'm going to show you how I do it. So we get our priming tool that's set up for small rifle primers, small primers, and take it apart. Push the tray down, pop the shell holder out, remove the priming ram handle, the lever out, and then remove our primer tray. That is the small primer tray. So we'll set that to the side, and then get out your big one, your large primer tray. Right here is the large one. And what you have to do is cut it off right here. Just cut that round tray right off of it. And leave the ram and everything in it, which this one's gone, so I can show you something. But anyway, there it is. Get your big one out, whack it off right there, and you end up with something like this. Only, of course, it'll be black. But this is when it was modified with the tray cut off. This must be an ancient one, probably from the 70s or 80s, I don't know. But anyway, that's what you end up with. Now, I took the other one apart to show you how the large primer ram works over a small primer pocket. You can see the small rifle pocket in this 223 case. The ram fits over it completely. Does not enter the primer pocket. Maybe just a couple thousandths or a thousandth. You can just feel it seat in there. Now, I will say that if the brass has been chamfered heavily or over-swaged, that this will sit deeper in the pocket. So what you'll have to do is adjust your gauge rod. Maybe back it out just a little bit to make this a little longer to compensate. But, you know, you can adjust it. If it's too long to begin with, you can very carefully polish the end of this down, like with some 400 sandpaper and a little oil. Polish it down to get your trim length that you want. So anyway, let's reassemble the tool. Let's see. Oh, an important note about the Lee's priming tool. Everybody complains that they snap the handles. Well, if you use grease, like I suggested, at all the pivot points up here where it pushes the ram up and down and so forth, they'll go for thousands and thousands and thousands of primers. That's, of course, if you're not trying to jam a large primer in a small pocket. So let's put it back together. We'll put this in. I'm trying to do this through the camera, so might be a little ham-handed. Ham-handed. Made a joke. Push that up in there, get that seated in, like so. And then the trick, here's the trick. We'll push it down and we'll put our 223 shell holder back in it. Now you say, wait a minute, that's for small primer. That's true. What's going on here? What is wrong? Oh, nothing. There it is. But the plastic piece is the same, so it will fit through the center of the 223 shell holder. And we'll put a case in it. Boom, holding it good and tight, good and tight. There it is. And you jam that on the end of the cutter that is chucked in your 1/2-inch drill. And let me reposition the camera, and I'll show you how I have that set up. And it goes pretty quick. The setup I'm using is a 1/2-inch drill, which is connected to this Frankfurt Arsenal reloading stand, one of its few good purposes. I've got the Lee cutter chucked in the drill. I've also got the drill plugged into a foot switch, so I can operate with hands-free. And that is another key. So now we've got our modified tool, and we've got our cases over here now. I don't have any that are sized and deprimed that actually need trimming, but I have one without the primer, and I'll put it on there and chuck it and grab another one just to show you the kind of speed you can get out of it. And it'll get faster once you get in a little groove going. But anyway, here it is. Pick your case up, slide it in, you know, chuck it on the end. I need some weight down here on my base. I usually have bags of lead shot on the base of this thing. Anyway, push it in, turn it on, It only takes 3 or 4 seconds at the most. Grab another. You get the idea. And so much easier on the thumb and the fingers than trying to wrestle with these little tiny cases in that silly holder that Lee gives you. Okay, anyway, that's how you do it. In fact, you could even use this with the Possum Hauler cutter, if that's the one you use. All you really are looking for is a way to hold the case, and with the Lee, you need a way to stop the case, for something for the gauge rod to sit on. So that's where the large primer ram comes in handy. And I happened upon this by chance. Just dinking around one day, I thought, man, I really need a way to hold cases, and the priming tool was sitting there, and the gears started turning, and this is what I came up with. Using the Lee trimmer, you also have to chamfer and deburr. So I've devised a method for that also. What I use is the Lee chamfer and deburr tool, the little cheap one, for about $2. This one right here. See, it's hollow, and it chamfers on the conical end and deburrs on the inside, the other end. But what I found is that a Dremel drum, a sanding drum, fits in it perfectly. Voila! And give it a few little twists to tighten it up. It doesn't have to be super tight, just so it won't fly off of there. And then chuck that baby in your drill. Chuck that in the drill like so. And now you say, okay, what about the deburr? Well, that's what this is for. This is a Wilson unit. RCBS makes them. But this is a nice one. So what you do is you take a case, and again, foot controlled, grab your freshly trimmed cases, and your deburring tool in this hand, case in the right, just a little twist, boom, boom. Just like that. I can't quite hardly see the tip to get it lined up there quickly because I have my reading glasses on. Things are out of focus about here. But anyway, you can really get cranking on these. They can go that quick. So there it is with the Lee tool.